player, LCPDFR, kind of Sheriff's County Patrol. And before we start this one out, some of you've been asking me for these ped models, and I just want to take the time to show you why I'm thinking about switching to something else and why I haven't given you the links. So you'll notice that, here's a good example. This white police officer, he's kind of just blacked out. I don't feel like retexturing it. Same thing with this white guy. And not that I have to play as a white person, but you'll never find me playing like a chick character in game, and generally you'll find me playing characters that I feel are somewhat like me. It helps me with my immersion, and this is the best that I could do with this mod. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll do our normal bid. I'm gonna set the clock timer. I just wanted to show you kind of guys how a little bit of my setup goes. So in there, that'll give you your clock in the top right, and we'll go ahead and change the time. I always like the time to be a little bit later at night, and it's just because the lights reflect so much better off the building. Right now it's kind of like ugh, but as it starts to darken and set in, you can really see the blues and the reds start to pop out a little bit more and more as you can see the sun's kind of going down. And you have to wait. You can't freeze time or lock time right away. So now you can see the lights are looking so much better. And that's, again, it's like a little, we're going to say no to that. But it's little immersion things that I like doing. Once it gets dark enough, I go ahead and set real time so the time doesn't go bolting forward. It kind of actually goes by in actual minutes. And I think we'll go ahead and kick out. And this episode I'm going to do a little bit of talking about some of the more interesting stuff. We're not going to accept policing right off the bat. We're just going to kind of kick out and take LCPDFR callouts. And all this ban talk and modding talk about Grand Theft Auto 5, let's talk about that. So as you guys know, I mod it heavily. I'm always tinkering with something in code, seeing what I can get to work, seeing what I can get to break, and just learning stuff about Grand Theft Auto 5 and what it's going to be like to mod for it. And there's no telling what they're catching people for, and if that person that's reporting being caught is even telling the truth. Let's be honest, most of the time from my past experience in games, when people have been cheating and have gotten caught, they'll say anything. And because of that, we really don't know for sure the certain reason. And now Rockstar might flag you for a ban and wait a week or two and then hit you with the ban. And that's a strategy they call the cat and mouse. What it is it makes it hard for cheaters to peg what they got caught using and why. Alright, so we're going to flip a UE here because we just witnessed a pickup as we were rolling by. And because you don't know... Okay, so we might actually have something interesting unfolding right here. I'm not sure what approach I should go with on... Oops, did not mean to pull up the home key. Not sure what approach I should go with on this one. Let's just kind of watch and see it unfold. Okay, so we're gonna check out this vehicle. We could come back for her. We know where she works is kind of where she lives.
Pull over to the side of the road.
So we're gonna check this vehicle. We're going to go ahead and hit our light, get the light on them. We're going to call dispatch, kind of get some more information about the vehicle. And we'll angle our vehicle as well. So we got an uninsured vehicle, and we call them trying to solicit a prostitution. And we're just going to roll up on the vehicle. We're not going to use ticket time. And we'll see what we got going on.
What up?
So we know the passenger, he'll respond to violence because he pulled that chick straight out. And we're going to go ahead and hit him for the soliciting prostitution because we're considered an expert witness. And some of you say that's scary, but a cop's word's got to be held in high regard. And I know it's kind of a touchy subject with all the crazy things we got going on lately. So we'll go ahead and call this in. 2 suspects. I'm going to just try to keep my standoff, but in the same sense keep a good eye on them. I don't want to be sitting in the car and be the victim to ambush or something if they decide to get out. You guys see those videos on YouTube where these guys go straight up. So no active warrants. Driver's been stopped and cited 3 times. And we're going to have the driver actually step out.
Step out of your car and put your hands on the roof.
And again, I got him for, soliciting prostitution. And that really depends for, it depends, what what city you're in, what county you're in, or how they handle it. Like, I've heard some places will like write you a ticket and let you on your way. I know in Maryland you're going to be getting locked up. So we're going to go ahead and initiate, a frisk on this guy. We'll go ahead and investigate F9 for frisk.
So I can frisk you.
And we're going to go behind him, make sure he doesn't have anything. He's actually trying to leave us. Nope, he's not leaving. He's still actually probably under a bay from police orders because I didn't tell him to stay put.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Okay, so we didn't find anything on him, and we're gonna go ahead and order him to stay put at this point, just so I can close that script out, make sure I don't make any conflict. Now we're gonna cuff this guy up, and again, we're gonna be taking him in for prostitution. I'm not too worried about the passenger. Like, I feel like the passenger was this guy's saving grace tonight because he's like, hell nah, dog, we ain't picking up no hooker. All right, so we're gonna throw this individual, in the back of the car. And I'm actually going to take it kind of light on the passenger, depending on how he plays it. I might let him try to drive out of here. So we have to get him out with our gun out. And we'll try to do it quick enough to where we don't make him panic.
No sudden moves.
And, we're going to try to...
Hey, you! Hold it!
We'll order him back into the vehicle. I didn't pull him over for anything. I'm not worried about him throwing a hooker out of the car. He didn't punch her or anything like that. So, what I'm going to do is, tell him to get back in the vehicle. And I'm going to see if he actually takes off and drives out of here and gets the vehicle out of this area for the night. I'm trying to do the good cop thing. I just want to teach this guy a lesson for trying to pick up a hooker. And I think tonight we'll be doing that. So we're going to roll this guy back to the station. And give me a little bit more time to chat about 5 and these mods. So I've modded it heavily. I can't really remember where I left off in the discussion, and I'm not banned. Like, I've done all types of stuff, and the fact that I'm not banned, and a lot of you people are getting banned when you're saying you're just using a field of view mod, it makes me suspicious because I actually know about 7 people that I've asked personally, guys that are using DK2 and field of view mods only, and they're doing fine, guys. They're not getting banned. They've proven it to me. They've played with me. Oh, we just got totally sideswiped by this individual, and we're gonna go ahead and hit them up. And the passenger just littered after the driver struck our vehicle. We didn't even get back to the station with this guy, but I don't want to let these people go. Alright, so the vehicle appears to be good, but that doesn't really mean anything. Maybe the driver's not the owner of this vehicle or something of that nature, you know what I mean? We'll get up here and see what we got going on. Hi, you completely struck my car back there, like a little bit of sideswipe action, So we'll go with some careless.
This isn't the bumper cars on Firefly.
And we're going to take her ID, and he looks kind of pissed about the whole situation. You littered, bub, so don't act like you're a victim. And we're going to actually step back and do another radio call and kind of make sure I create like very limited downtime in the episodes. If I'm typing everybody in, I feel like you guys might not necessarily want to see that all the time. And we'll run dedicated traffic nights where that's all I'm up to is pulling people. So we got no active warrants. This guy's got no active warrants. They've just been cited, kind of normal ticket stuff. And I'm gonna go ahead and give her a citation for swiping my vehicle. That way my supervisor isn't like, FinKone, like, why you always backing in shit. So, that's been documented, all that. The insurance companies will be tracking. They're kind of good to go on their way. And we'll just kick back. Our original intention was to, go turn this guy in. So we'll work our way back to the closest precinct area. But, the fact that those guys haven't been banned, and, I haven't set up my DK2 yet, my Oculus Rift to use with 5. I don't think my video card can handle it. I'm running a 290. I don't see it handling that. And, it leads me to believe that the guys that were using the field of view mods that got banned were also doing, like, the online trainer, not listening to Alexander Blade's wishes, and we're just being kind of malicious. Because at the end of the day, Rockstar's going to protect the online environment that's still making them money. They're selling shark cards, and that's for people that either don't have the time to play or, money's not a huge factor for them. So they go about we'll bump through this red with lights just to save time. We'll probably bump through this one as well. But you know, they're a business, so I totally understand. And you know, each one of you guys that are doing the malicious thing online, you know, all you're doing is making it harder for the legit modders, for people that want to come out with stuff, for, you know, Alexander Blade and things like that. And you know, I only say that because, you know, it's 100% true. Alexander Blade had to do a rehash, and they rehashed everything because cheating online was a problem, not because they didn't want modders to play as a cop in a single player experience, you know. So we'll go ahead and we'll kick back out. My neighbor just decided to mow his lawn, so give me a second to close that window and I'll cut to the scene where we pick back up. Alright, so I just had to close that window real quick. I didn't want to subject you guys to like people mowing their lawns and whatnot. So, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's probably some people that have been banned that maybe didn't do anything malicious. This is just my opinionated discussion about it. But I've actually went out of my way to try to determine, like, okay, what's going to be my fate? Like, should I even try to go online? And we'll go ahead and start we'll accept policing as well. We're just going to take all these calls. We're going to get it rolling. But, you know, I've been doing my own amount of toying. Nothing's been dedicated. I haven't really sat down with the outline for, you know, a specific mod or a goal that I want to achieve. So we got a shoplifting call. I guess the hazard or traffic lights don't work. We got reports of a shoplifting at the burger shop. That's kind of a hike. What I'm probably actually gonna do is I'm gonna cut this video so when we get up to there. Alright, we're getting closer. We're gonna bump through this yellow. We're getting closer now, so this figured it'd be a good time to kind of cut back in. I can actually see I got eyes on the burger shot. As for I guess they're stealing like a cheeseburger or something of that nature. It's not a high priority call, so I wasn't gonna zoom their code 3 and have you guys watch that in the entire time. Like, that'd be a little ridiculous. I'll tell you what's ridiculous is this light. Come on. It's like right there in eye shot. And we're just chilling at this forever red. I always feel like that's what happens when I drive anywhere. I constantly just get stuck with the red lights. I'll be sitting don't ever ride with me unless you like sit in the red lights. So, you know, sadly, we're just gonna come there and look for the guy with the upside down red chevron. And we're gonna check this individual out because we know it's him. And I'll go ahead and nab him with police orders. And I'm gonna have him come over here and probably have him stay put. And we'll see who just tapped our vehicle and how bad it is. A little love tap. We'll let it slide, mainly because that's poor AI logic, not because that was like malicious, you know what I mean? We'll go ahead and kill the light, and we're gonna leave our lights on in case this guy gets violent. He's already committed you know, it's not a felony theft because a cheeseburger I can't imagine costing more than $500. But we're gonna use police helper to frisk this individual if we can. Hey, I told you to stay put, buddy. Now you're starting to get a little fishy on me.
Stop right there.
Alright, yeah, I knew he was gonna take off on foot. We're giving him one more chance. And we're gonna pop him with the taser. We'll see if we can't get compliance. If we can't get compliance, okay, we're getting ready to call for backup if we couldn't get compliance. And now we're gonna go ahead and frisk this individual using LCPDFR's functions. You know, there's no, like, if you can handle and contain a situation, I don't think there's much point in calling for a backup unit just to call for one. Guy didn't appear to have a weapon. He wasn't being violent. He was just trying to flee. Alright, wow. Just found a weapon, as I was saying. He doesn't have a weapon. So, we're going to go ahead and, we're going to ask him for his ID, and we're going to call him in. I want to know who we're dealing with. But this guy's going to be going in for the petty theft of a cheeseburger. And we're going to run him. real briefly into the computer once you go back into the investigation after. I wish if you had the frisk, you had the option to go straight to the radio. And, you know, that makes sense because you just frisk the guy. Obviously, you're going to find all his stuff. Like, but you can have a different terms of frisks. Like, maybe just patting him down, in my opinion, not pull anything out. But when I see cops frisk someone, generally it's to...
Hands behind your back.
It's to go ahead and... so I'm going to, like, right now, technically, I consider myself kind of detaining the person. And we're going to go the extra step on this one, guys, in terms of roleplay. We're going to go back to Burger Shot. And we're going to take this individual there. And we're just going to make sure that it's him. Even though I know it is because he had a marker above his head. And we kind of randomly stopped this guy. Like, those are the little touches that I wish it had. But it's definitely better than nothing. So we're going to go ahead and turn around. We're going to pretend we don't see the taxi cab that fled because we shot our taser. And now in 5, I thought it would be a good thing that car drivers don't get out and they actually like take off fleeing. It's actually not. It's a horrible thing. Like, we're gonna end up getting ran over so much in LCPDFR or LSPDFR because the drivers never leave. So then we'll go ahead in there and we'll just act like we talked to one of the employees about if it's one of the guys or not.
Yo, mommy, come fuck with an alpha male making sales.
Oh my. So I don't think there's any way for them to actually come out. Just at that point, I'm like, hey lady, you see the guy in the back of the car? Is that the one? And she'd validate that that's the proper detained person, and then we go from detained to arrest. That's another, like, the detained feature in LCPDFR always kind of got under my skin a little bit because, you know, generally when you detain them, like, they don't always cuff them, but most of the time for a detainee, they're detaining them because they got high suspicions of them being problematic. So they do it for their own safety is to cuff the individual. So we'll go ahead and turn this individual in. And we'll kick back out from there. Alright guys, so for the most part, doing a small voiceover because this is pretty much the end of this episode. From this point forward, things don't run very well, and it's mainly because of a script that I accepted. And what I say by that is, I mean, the script didn't run well. It caused a huge resource bog, and you can even see I was leery to accept it, but because of this bog, it made a huge issue, and it led to a tie-up of LCPDFR and its commands, and also led to a fatal crash several minutes later. But I start talking about the technical aspects and why it's doing what it's doing, and I explained to you how one simple script, one bad running script, can make this whole thing fall on its face. So if you're interested in learning about stability and things like that, definitely enjoy this 6-minute technical kind of what the hell is happening, not rant, but kind of talk from me. And as always, I look forward to bringing y'all more videos of LCPDFR, and I hope you enjoy the end with this technical talk. And thank you for all the support, all the following, all the likes and subs that I've gotten so far. It means a lot to me. I'll go back to the real me, to the live action me in game now, and we'll go from there. It always statically kicks off, like this is where you're required. Yeah, see that bog? Like, you guys saw my system bog as I came in because it was creating these vehicles when I was extremely close. And, just a small tip for the guy that's writing this. You can reduce those chances of crashes when you're creating things. If you create something, wait a little bit, maybe like 500 milliseconds. And then you just keep going from there. Like, just create another thing, wait another 500 milliseconds. And that stuff really helps to, like, let the computer instantiate what you called. Okay, so we went ahead and hopped in the vehicle. I guess we'll be rolling this. I'm gonna get grief for what are you about the white rims. I tried to stay away from this vehicle. So we're gonna go ahead and start rolling out. We'll let this vehicle pass. Are they gonna follow? Did I miss the message? Did you guys get that message? Hey bud, I'm ready to go. Oh, there's no people. So did that fail to, yeah, it looks like this failed to completely create. And it could have been because of a slight system bug. Like these cars, Black Jesus makes some pretty demanding stuff, and because of that, it could have been the ender of all of that. Okay, so we'll actually go just to policing, and we'll see if these vehicles will crash us. Because the NPCs didn't spawn, not a whole lot we can do. And it's just stuff you gotta deal with. Alright, so we're on the very north side. I actually know where that is for once, so we'll go ahead and we got a breach of peace. And the texture loss is now, you're seeing the texture loss, and that's because of the demand that those vehicles are placing. And I don't know if those vehicles will clean out for memory. He probably got them set as required for the mission. And the engine, Grand Theft Auto 4's engine itself, the game engine, is actually at its memory cap for what it allows. And even if you change the EXE restrictions to allow like more than 2 gigabytes of visual drawings and textures, it can still tax, it still ignores that, and it'll still make these bugs. So we stand a strong chance to crash here shortly. You can see all the buildings popping in and out. This is good. I feel like I haven't gotten to my technical talks in a while. You can see the system's even bogging a little bit. So we're gonna kind of, I had not had my headlights on the whole time. You guys are gonna be yelling at me. Okay, so we'll check this individual out. He doesn't look too happy. Let's see if we can get him to stay put first and foremost. And this guy doesn't want to have it. And the LCPDFR is not letting us. So there's a breach of peace call. We're gonna try to frisk the individual. See if we get a frisk on him. And it's gonna try to nudge through there, even though he's walking away. We'll see if we can get anything. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to arrest this guy, mainly because I used the escort mission, and you can see all the rendering issues I'm fighting with now. Okay, so we found his identification. We'll go look him up in the computer, see if he's wanted for anything. Really, right now he's just kind of walking around the street. He's not really causing a huge disturbance. And we'll go ahead and, oh, I can't even use my police computer. Alright, so I'm actually never going to use the escort mod again. So we're going to try to go ahead and release this person. We can't look him up. We'll just say that our system's down. Too many gorillas. I agree, bro. Have a good day. And, we're going to have to do a crude reload while we're actually playing, and we'll see how that goes. But no more. We got it. We snagged it. So we'll force duty. Oh, wait. Did LCPDFR get a straight-up crash? Yeah, I'm going to do another reload of scripts, and we'll see if we can get it without the bog causing a crash. Okay, so we got that. We'll force the duty, and this is a good way for you guys to see what's going on. Alright, so now we're back on duty. And we'll make sure we kill our spotlight. Ah, I forgot to turn off the old one. So now we're going to have this car towed, because I'm not riding around all night with the spotlight on. Call for services, tow truck, punch the car, and we'll spawn another one real briefly. And we'll be on our way with this hideous texture loss going on. I don't think we'll last too much longer, but we'll go from there. And we'll see if this tow truck crashes. This might be the icing on the cake right here for what the system can handle in terms of the game engine. Thank you. We'll see when he despawns if we get a crash. And we'll go ahead and tell policing we're good to go. And we'll make sure we're no longer busy for LCPDFR. And I can tell those vehicles are still in. You can see because I'm still getting delayed texture spawn. And fight in progress. Yeah, this is the rush hour script. This one's probably going to be pretty fun. So I need to pop, take a left, go up, exit there, and we'll go from there. Wow, we got complete texture loss at this point. It'll come back. We got a fight in progress, so, violent crime, need to go quick. And what's happening is, as I pass these buildings and they're no longer in view... No, you gave us a call. Oh, wait, this isn't policing, this is rush hour. now we're even getting resource didn't exist. And it's not his mod's fault. It's because my system's so bogged. Now Grand Theft Auto 4 is no longer allowing callouts to be created. So I guess this episode is shifting to more of a technical talk aspect than anything else. So for example, nope, there it is, guys. I was gonna give you another example about the draw distances, but you know, believe it or not, FinKone can crash, and you guys can see it's highly based off of the mods and the scripts that you're running. Anybody can code a script, but you have to make sure they know how to keep it fast and know what they're doing when they make it. And I'm not saying the guy that made the Escort callout doesn't know what he's doing. Of course he knows what he's doing because he coded it. But in the same sense, you have to be very leery of what you put in your game, because one little thing, that little script, which I'll be taking out after I close this program, caused an inevitable fatal crash that I knew was creeping up on me. But we'll end it like this with a crash, and I'll catch y'all at the next one.